Hello, hello. It's time for some sprinting. I had very little sleep last night because I was in here reading until 3 a.m. And it's 11 o'clock for me now, so I haven't been up long. I've just eaten a bowl of cereal, which I'm still eating, and watching Sabrina. That's literally all I've done today. But it is time to get into the reading stuff. So I guess I will go ahead and pull up a timer and y'all can let me know in the comments what you're reading. And we'll just do a really quick one for the first one. But yeah, how many holiday books have y'all read? Are you burned out on reading a bunch of holiday books? Or are you good keeping it seasonal and reading as many as you can? Me, I apparently get burned out, so I have to switch it up and put some non-holiday books in between. So, okay, so I have a timer on here. Let's do this beachy one. Why not? It's got a little ad. Okay. Gonna share the screen. All right. Let's go ahead and do some sprints. I'm gonna do like a 10-minute sprint. Um, so we'll just get that started. That way I can finish my breakfast. I'm back. How did y'all do? I read like half a chapter and I finished my breakfast. So now I'm ready for some reading. This is very bright. Whoop. My desk is a bit of a mess, but it's okay. So I put in here with the stream title live Christmas gift recommendations as well as these reading sprints. So I figure during the breaks, I can give Christmas gift suggestions. I know that Choco wanted a video about it, so I figured I would just throw it into this one. I haven't really prepped anything, but of course I've got some ideas for that. So if y'all need any specific recommendations for like gifts, let me know and I'll try to recommend something for you. This is my red shelf over here. So looking through. Okay, so I think if you had a reader in your life that likes young adult and they also like historical fiction, and they like humor and things that are funny, then I would recommend My Lady Jane. I think that would be a good one for them. Uh, what else? If they like spy type movies, like thriller, political, stuff like that, and are YA readers, then the All Fall Down series by Ally Carter is really good. And if they like getting dolled up and like a bunch of girls in their books and all that kind of stuff, then I actually really like the Selection series. I know some people like hate it, but I really like it. Uh, The Kiss of Deception was really good if you like fantasy. Starsight, not Starsight, that's the second book. The Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson is excellent for sci-fi. If they like dystopian, the Taken trilogy by Aaron Bowman, really like that. It has thriller aspects, it has the dystopian stuff. It's just so good. It's like they're in a dome and the boys are like disappearing when they turn 18 and nobody knows why. So, yeah, it's interesting. For historical romance, Water for Elephants, I really enjoyed that, and it has a movie adaptation. For Christian fiction, if they haven't started the Young Adult Left Behind series, I really like that. Also, anything by Melody Carlson, and she also does adult fiction as well. Then The Lunar Chronicles is good for like a light fantasy with some sci-fi elements in it. For like YA. The Quarantine series by Lex Thomas is great, and I also feel like it would definitely appeal to boys as well. So if you're like, okay, I need some books where the guy will like hold it and doesn't feel weird by the cover they're holding, then definitely the Quarantine series. Middle grades graphic novels, anything by Raina Telgemeier. Hate to Love Romance, The Hating Game is great. Another sci-fi for young adults, Under the Never Sky. Really, really enjoyed that. For pirates, Daughter of the Pirate King, fast paced. Another fantasy would be The Lost Legends, which was written by my friend Kate Marie. It's an amazing series. And it also has LGBT rep in there. So if you want to slide that in with your fantasy, then that would be perfect. Young adult westerns, Vengeance Road by Aaron Bowman. That series was good. I recommend the audiobook for it because she does use the thick dialect. So it's just easier to consume. if you are the type of reader who has to say all the words out loud if you just listen to the audio. For people that like contemporary adult with some romance, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Um, The Hunger Games is always a good one. And like, I think it was interesting because I was like 19 or something when I read the Hunger Games series, and my brother was 10 and he was reading the Hunger Games as well. So if you have like an advanced reader who's already ready for YA at like 10 years old, the Hunger Games, if you're okay with people killing each other. He was also reading Dante's Inferno at 10 years old, so like who knows, but I just remember we were both reading that, and I believe he also read Cinder. I think he might have read Cinder as well. And I had a guy friend in the Navy that read Cinder, and really enjoyed that. So it is kind of like everybody can enjoy it. Um, for classics, I did like Frankenstein. Also, if they want a diverse classic, oh, Roy, this is what I'm reading right now. It's already made me cry once. The writing is just so superb. And I also highly recommend getting the audiobook along with having like a physical or ebook copy, because she also does the dialect where she writes it out how it sounds, not how it's spelled. So you get more like authentic characterization. But yeah, really, really enjoying this. So classic that's short and it's like historical. The author of this was writing this right after the Emancipation Proclamation, so it's like someone that was actually there during that time period, and it's fiction, but it is so good. um the compound the compound S.A. Bowden, her stuff is really good if you like things that are a little bit dark, a little bit psychological, but also have a um I don't even know what you would call the element to it. Basically, for the compound, it's the dad takes everyone underground because there's supposed to be the apocalypse happening, the end of the world. So he takes them to this bunker and they live there. But then the teenager starts to suspect that there was never an apocalypse and that the dad has been lying to them for some nefarious reason. And yeah, it gets very dark, but it's very entertaining as well as he's trying to find out if people still are living and if his dad has been in communication with them the whole time and knows that everything's fine. So that one's really, really good. For children who like somewhat scary books and very quirky books, The League of Beastly Dreadfuls. It's a series. I only read the first book. I'm not really interested in continuing, but I did really enjoy the first book. It was just a little young for me because I am 32. But it would be perfect for like an 8, 9, 10 year old. And it has a couple pictures in there too, so that's cool. Kind of ease into the full length chapter books. Um, if they like spicy sci-fi romance, I do like the Ice Planet Barbarians. My husband's calling me, so I gotta mute real quick. Okay. So more contemporary that's diverse is going to be anything by Angie Thomas. I've read all of her books so far and I've liked all of them. Um, my favorite is actually probably not the most popular of them. I really liked On the Come Up. I related to her situation as far as growing up with not a lot of money. I would say her situation was worse than what mine was because I did have a two-parent home, so there was still a little income coming from both parents. We had a little bit more money, than she did in On the Come Up, but still similar situations with, like, having to get your clothes at the thrift store, like, being on food stamps or having free lunches and all that sort of thing. So it was just very relatable, so that's why I really liked On the Come Up. Plus, I love taking songs that already exist and changing the lyrics. And I think coming up with raps can be a lot of fun too, and she's like a rapper, so that was fun as well. And Sanctuary was amazing for young adult sci-fi. Anyone who kind of likes the movie Die Hard, but would like to see that sort of thing happen in space, then yeah, Sanctuary. You can also kind of get that feel with the Illuminae series, but some of those authors aren't necessarily very likable right now. So and then I did read the first couple books in the Throne of Glass series and really enjoyed it, but it is a long series. For middle grades, as well as maybe the younger end of young adults, so like teens, I would really recommend Ally Carter books. In particular, the Gallagher Girls series. It's about spies, and I just really liked it. And for a little bit more, if you're like mature contemporary romance reader that's still YA, but like 16 and up, I would recommend The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Um, Bear, you okay? You okay, bud? Another sci-fi I really liked was Alienated by Melissa Landers. And I've got like some books over here that I have to reread. If you like kind of like dark paranormal-esque thing, I liked The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. And if you have someone that's a like a YA Christian reader, but like stuff that's not just straight up contemporary and it has some sort of other like magical type element to it, then I would say Melody Carlson's series, Samantha McGregor. Those books are really good. She gets visions. And so that's a lot of fun. It still has the whole biblical premises of like why she gets the visions and all that kind of stuff, but that would be great for a Christian reader who likes paranormal type stuff. Um, for gay male, like male gay fantasy, I really like actually a YouTuber, Ben Alderson. Uh, it was so good. Cloaked in Shadow, his first book was so good. And I have like all of his future books on like a wish list to eventually read those. But I've only read the first book. I bought the whole series. I had to wait for them to come out, and it was like 6 months in between releases, which is fine. But then I would read so many books, I would forget things, and I was like, I need to go back. But he does really good writing female characters, like strong female characters that don't turn into stereotypes. So I really, really appreciate that as well. The Fifth Wave, I really liked if you've got someone that likes to think when they read and are trying to kind of guess what's going to happen and how things were set up, and also likes like apocalyptic type fiction with a teen soldier element, then the Fifth Wave series. Um, if they like super spicy and also have autism rep and like racial representation, then The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. And I really liked Divergent for dystopian. I only read the first book though, because then I got spoiled on what happens in the third book, and I needed to take a bit. So I started reading that. Who knows when? It was probably like 2013 or something that I started reading that series, maybe 2014. And I got spoiled, so I haven't read the rest of the series yet. But I really loved it when I did read it. Ooh, for people who like fairy fiction, and this could probably go like upper middle grades, let's say like 8th grade and up. The Wings series by April and Pike. Highly recommend that. And for adult romance, the Well Met series by Jen DeLuca is awesome. If they want fat rep with romance, they could try out Jen DeLuca books. She's the one that did the Spoiler Alert series. And for paranormal with romance, for YA, but also crossover appeal for adult, even though they are YA books, is going to be anything by Amanda Hawking. Just anything. I've read almost all her books. So, like, yeah, she's a favorite author of mine. For diverse young adult sci-fi fantasy, I would say A Conspiracy of Stars by Olivia. I can't remember her last name, but Olivia is the first name. Olivia Cole. Okay, I see it. Then another YA fantasy that gets to be a little bit dark would be the Defiance series, I think is what it's called, by CJ Redwine. And also, if they like fairy tales, she has a fairy tale series as well, and they function as standalone books. And if they like lyrical prose, slow fantasy with slow burn, minor romance element, then I would say Strange the Dreamer. And then as far as some like adult books go, I did like The Martian. So if you've got like a sci-fi person that likes to nerd out and they don't mind like scientific explanations of stuff that can happen, then I would recommend that. If they don't like a bunch of explanations in stories and they find it to be dense and boring, I would not recommend that. Um, if they like historical fiction that's very mathematical, which is what I didn't like about the book, but that they might like about the book, Hidden Figures, which Hidden Figures also has a movie. The movie didn't contain everything that Hidden Figures did. I found parts of Hidden Figures to be very interesting, but I just felt like it really dragged on with some of the explanations that were in there. And then what else? What else can I recommend to you? Oh, because some stuff is like ebooks. So that I read with ebooks. If they like high fantasy with a very, very minor subplot in there, that really wasn't even needed. It's just so minor. So like if they don't like books with romance, I would still recommend this series. The Innocent Mage and The Awakened Mage by Karen Miller, I would say is excellent. And I really, really enjoyed the audiobook versions of those. And then yeah, I think that's probably going to be all of the recommendations that I have that I feel like are pretty accessible to most people, depending on what genre they like. So, yeah, I guess we'll move on. Hopefully, you got some good recs. So, are y'all ready for another sprint? Let me see how long I got left in this chapter. I got 5 minutes. No, I got 5 hours and 35 minutes left in the book. Okay. So, Let's do a little bit of a longer one. We just did a 15. Let's do a 30. Let's do a 30-minute, or we can go in increments. We can do a 20-minute and then we'll bump it up to the next increment and then the next increment and the next increment. That kind of sounds cool. So let's do that. I'll just find whatever the next length of timer is, and we'll do whatever that amount is for the sprint. Okay. Uh, all right, so let's do this 20-minute. All right. Time to read. This book is getting me. Oh my gosh. Oh my. It's so good. Oh, it's so good, but also it's so bad, the stuff that's happening in it. Ugh, I just feel sorry for everyone in the book. But anyway, how is y'all's reading going? Hey Kenny, how you doing? Oh man. I told Pat, I said, I'm cheating. I'm not reading a Christmas book right now. I'm reading Iola Leroy. I had read one chapter previously, and then last night I read like 9 more chapters. This woman knows how to write. I'll just say that. She knows how to write. Hello, hello, how you doing? Hello. Oh, what was I looking at? I don't know what I was doing. Anyway. So, what are y'all two reading? Good, just cooking. I had a bowl of cereal. That's all I've had. I didn't do nothing else. And I was doing what do you call it? I'm still kind of waking up from this morning because I stayed up until 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Oh man. What are you reading, Kiana? Listening to Dear Santa by Debbie Macomber. I love Debbie Macomber. I discovered her like last year, I think. It might have been the year before that. I read 12 Days of Christmas, I believe. It's like an enemies to lovers story where this guy is kind of like a Scrooge and she's Miss Positivity. So she decides that she's going to make her life easier by like being nice to this guy for like 12 days. So she like buys him coffee and all this other kind of stuff. And then she winds up getting sick and he looks over her. And it's just like a enemies to lovers romance. I really enjoyed it. So then I started picking up other Debbie Macomber books. So this holiday season, I read Starry Night by Debbie Macomber, and it's set in Alaska, and it's another Grumpy Sunshine. Apparently, I like Grumpy Sunshine romances. So I hope you're liking Dear Santa. I haven't read that one. This is my first book of hers. It's predictable, but it's cute. Yeah, I mean they're just like little. They're quick, um, sweet romances. So, but I enjoy them. I feel like most romance is predictable anyway. So, I mean, it's just kind of like everyone uses the same genre conventions. I try to not use as many of them when I do my books because I'm like, I don't like the whole dark night of the soul moments where the characters doubt their entire relationship after they've had a bunch of personal growth to get in the relationship to start with. I feel like it's counterintuitive and they're taking a back step when they have those moments. So I don't like that. But with the books, when one character has not fully come to like their best self yet, then those dark moments make sense because the worst has to happen in order for them to finally overcome that last hurdle to get into a lasting relationship. So that I can do, but not when you've got two people that have fully developed and they're making dumb decisions and not just having a 5-minute conversation with the other person. I can't stand that. So anyway, can't wait to read A Little Meet Cute. Yes, that book looks so good. I don't know if my library has it or not. If I can get like an audiobook version of it, I will totally read that even before reading my next books. Bear, what are you barking about? He's in there like growling. I'm like, what the fuck are you growling about? It's probably that dog. There's this old dog, and she likes to come over and sit in like the neighbor's yard and intimidate my dog. She don't know her boundaries. And she's attacked my dog before, so I don't like her very much. But anyway. But yeah, I definitely need to see if a little meet cute is on one of the apps I use, because I'm doing a challenge now where I'm reading my own books. I can still read library books, but they don't count for my the point system that I've given myself for the challenge. So I want to decrease the amount of like audio or just stuff that I'm getting from the library. I want to decrease that and increase the amount of physical reads that I'm doing. I also think I've just struggled with attention and not being able to do a lot of stuff. And so I feel like making myself physically read things will help that. A little me cute. I don't know why I thought it was like a merry little meet cute. Maybe it is. I don't know. Because nothing's popping up yet. Well, I searched it on Hoopla and there's nothing. Let me see if it is on Overdrive. Because I want it. I want it. It is a merry little meet cute. Okay. So it popped up that other people have been searching for it, but it's not there. Oh well. Oh well. But anyway, the challenge thing that I'm doing, you're not supposed to buy any books during the challenge, and it could take like a year to finish the challenge. So basically, I came up with a point system. So I need to get to 250 points before I go off of my restricted book buying ban. So I can still buy certain things, but it's very restricted what I can buy. So like a Merry Little Meet Cute would be one that I can't buy because I haven't read any Julie Murphy books. So I would need to get it from the library or something. Scribd. I don't have Scribd. I don't think Scribd is a free service, is it? I just have Hoopla and Overdrive. I can request books from a library. So if they don't have it, I can request it. I think I may have seen it on their shelves at some point on the new release section, but I'm down to one car, so I can't just go to the library today anyway. It would be Monday before I could go. I might have a doctor's appointment on Monday. I think I do have a doctor's appointment on Monday. I do have a doctor's appointment on Monday. So they're going to do an ultrasound on me to see if I have polyps or something like that. Because I went on estrogen because I have low estrogen. And then I started to, TMI, but I started to like basically have a period for like the whole time I was on the estrogen. So it was excessive. It was like over 2 months. So yeah. I didn't take my last estrogen shot because I was like, can we not have that every single day? But he thinks what might have happened is the estrogen, if I have like polyps or something like that, it may have made them grow, and then that's why I was having so much issues. And so we're gonna get that checked out, and then I get to talk to him and afterward with the results and see what's going on. So my mom's gonna come with me, Because anytime you do something like that, you never know what they're going to tell you. They might check things out and be like, yeah, you can't have kids. Like, who knows? Who knows? Which I probably need to call and remind her because she said she wanted to go with me. I told her I wasn't really worried about it either way, but I mean, you never really know. So it is what it is. But that's happening on Monday. So if y'all don't hear from me for a couple days and I did get bad news, then that's probably what it is. But I don't think it's gonna be anything serious. But anyway. Are y'all ready to get into the next sprint? I feel like we're actually doing good because we've already done a 20-minute sprint and we did we did a 15 and a 20. So we've done 35 minutes in an hour. Okay, so maybe I am talking too much in between breaks if that's all we've done. Oh man. All right, so let's bump it up for the next sprint. Let's see what timer we have on here. So we just did the 30. We're just kind of doing more each time. Because why not? All right, so now we'll do a 40-minute sprint. And then the next one will be 45 minutes. So we're just bumping it up. Okay. Reading more of Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. That was one of the book of the month selections at some point, but I didn't wind up getting it. But I hope you enjoy it. All right, I'm muting and getting back to reading. Hello, hello. How did y'all do? I think I read like 2 chapters, and then I've also been vlogging my thoughts on all the chapters that I started flagging a bunch of stuff. I have so many little page flags. Oh my. Yeah, this book. Y'all need to get on this book. If you got Amazon Prime, you can read and listen for free. So I was happy about that because I don't got no money. Like, no money. So I gotta read free stuff. But anyway, I have a physical book too, but the audiobook's just really good. Oh, golly. All right. 60%. What are you reading? Are you reading A Merry Little Meet Cute? Is that what you're reading? No, you're reading the Debbie Macomber book. I see. But anyway, that's awesome. That is awesome. I don't know how fast you read. I know we'll do one more sprint. We've been going for an hour and 53 minutes. The next sprint's going to be 45 minutes. So it'll be like, so we'll be at like 3 hours by the end of the stream. I can't really go longer than that, even if I would want to, because I still have another stream on the 31st with y'all. That one we'll just go until we don't want to go no more. But I also have another stream this coming Friday at 4 p.m. So if y'all read Wuthering Heights, we'll be talking about that book on my channel. And we've also already set a date for Iola Leroy, which is going to be on January the 20th at 4 p.m. on my channel, CST. So if you want to join in on this book, I highly recommend that you do. That'll be 4 p.m. on the 20th. And it's going to be me, Nicole, and Courtney. So Nicole from Dusty Book Sniffers and Courtney from Tangible Reads. We're going to be the host for Iola Leroy. So, and then the next book after this one is going to be Passing by Nellie Larson. So it's going to have some similar themes that are in this, but it might be set a little bit later. I'm not quite sure because I haven't read these books before. So I go into them knowing a little bit, but not a lot. 2 hours left. Okay, so you're a fast reader. I'm not very fast. 2 hours of reading for me in a book that's easy to read would be 66 pages. So I'm very slow reader. I read a lot of books, so people would think that I'm not a slow reader, but I'm a very slow reader. With the Iola Leroy book, I'm listening to it at like 1.25 speed just because I really want to pay attention and take in every little moment. And I didn't feel like I could do that at 2 speed with this particular book. So I had to slow it down to like 1.25. And I'm also reading it physically with my eyes at the same time and then marking stuff when I come to it. And then forming thoughts and opinions at the end of each and every chapter. So there will be a very gargantuan vlog because this thing has, how many chapters are in this sucker? This one has, oh my gosh, 33 chapters. It has 33 chapters, and I'm about to start chapter 14. And I've been vlogging after every chapter. And let me tell you, sometimes it's 5 minutes of thoughts with some quotes. Sometimes it's 10 minutes. So hopefully, hopefully it's not like 10 minutes for each clip. Hey, Alexa, what is 10 minutes times 30?
10 minutes times 30 is 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm not going to have no 5-hour vlog. So I think I need to not talk as much. Hey, Alexa, what's 33 times 5?
33 times 5 is 165.
Oh. Hey, Alexa, what's 33 times 5 minutes?
33 times 5 minutes is 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh. So even on a good day, I'm talking way too much. I don't want to edit a 3-hour long video again. Oh my goodness. I've already had to do that once and it was an absolute nightmare. Oh my goodness. And this is like without any B-roll. It's just me talking about every chapter. The last time I did a vlog like this was with the book She Wore Red Trainers, which had Muslim representation. So I was getting a lot out of it. So of course I had a ton of details because I was sharing quotes and everything. And it's actually, I think it's my most viewed video. Which is surprising because most people don't look at reviews. But I think part of it was that one student, I guess, had found it and was like using it for a book report. So they were like, thank you for being so thorough. I don't have to read a book. And so every once in a while with my book reviews with like young adult books, I'll get comments asking me very weird, specific questions. Like, can you name a personal character trait for this character and how it was seen throughout the book? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing your homework for you. Not to mention that by the time I get those comments, I don't even remember the characters' names. Y'all, sometimes I don't remember the characters' names the whole time I'm reading a book. It just goes, the name just flies away from me. I don't know it. I don't know it. I don't know how people keep up with all them details. It ain't me. It ain't me. But anyway, y'all ready for a 45 minute? I'm ready for a 45 minute. My back is starting to hurt. So I think what I'm going to do is during this one, I'm going to go into the bedroom and lay down because my back is hurting. And then I'll be back in here when the timer's up. So I'll set another timer so that I can hear it. But anyway, let's get into a 45 minute, and that's going to get you a lot closer, Kiana, to being done. So, all right, last sprint. Okay. So this book, just more and more stuff is happening. It covers so much time. Normally I don't like books that like take place over long periods of time, but I do like this one, and I'm like halfway done, and I'm just thinking, what in the world is going to happen in the second half of this book? Because so much has already happened, and I'm just like, oh. And y'all, this looks like a tiny book, but it's just the formatting, because this is 134 pages. So I'm halfway done, and I still have 4 hours left in the audiobook. So it's an 8-hour audiobook. And so that means that it's really over 300 pages. It's just this formatting that makes it seem like it's small, because look how tiny. And then at the start of chapters, it starts it at the very top of the page, like that. So, yeah. This is Iola Leroy, and it is so good. It's emotional. I've already cried once. I cried on chapter 7. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And now it just things, they escalate. They escalate because it's all about, so it's starting off when there's still the Civil War going on. And so you get to see the slaves hearing that the Yankees are coming, and that they're freed and they're going to free them. And then it jumps back 20 years so that you can get introduced to Iola's parents. Um, and then you get back to Iola serving as a nurse in the war, and some other characters as well that were on the plantation from the guy that had wound up getting her out of the plantation that she was on, because he was attracted to her and he joined the military, and he told the other guy, like, let's go get her out of there, like she's being abused there. And yeah, just all this other kind of stuff. So good, so good. But anyway, it's not a Christmas book, but I needed to read it. My little flags are really long because I'm sticking it where it's not covering up words. I have see-through ones as well, but these were just the first ones I grabbed. So I need to like find scissors and make them shorter, because if they stay this long, they're going to wind up falling out. Dottie is doing sprints if you wanted to continue sprinting today. Yes, that is good to know, because this is the last sprint, just simply because of the time. Because StreamYard only lets you stream for 20 hours a month, or you'll have to get a paid plan. And I do not have any money right now. None. None. So yeah, that's a good idea. I might do that. I was getting a little comfortable in the bed. I don't know if I can trust myself to go continue to lay in the bed and read. I might fall asleep. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Yes. Oh my gosh. It is so good. The pacing is just immaculate. It's so good. Her chapters with this formatting are like 3 to 4 pages, which might sound short, but she packs so much in. I'm excited about it. Pat, I know you don't have a YouTube channel that you use for videos, but if you ever want to be a guest host on one of these live shows, you just let me know. Any of y'all. I have my Discord, so I'm still looking for volunteers for co-host for some books. So I have 3 hosts for February's book, which is Passing. I've got 2 hosts for this book, but I can technically have up to 6. So if y'all are ever interested in joining, you just let me know. I just always try to get at least 2 people first, and spread it out. And then that way I don't have a month where I have no co-host. But if people find out about stuff after I've already got the 2 co-hosts, I can still add. So, but anyway, I'm really excited for next month. Nicole has already started reading this, and so she's enjoying it as far as I know. I don't know if Courtney started reading it yet or not. I kind of jumping the gun going ahead, but I just couldn't resist any longer because I got this book in like it was after I announced the readathon, so I probably have had this thing since like October, and I've just kept wanting to pick it up. So finally, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna read it. I'll have it finished before the new year. And then I already downloaded the Passing audiobook, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and read that one as well. And then I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna do the vlog style thing for these books, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how well that will work with me listening to the audiobook because I don't have a physical version of the Passing book, but I might be able to get an ebook. I don't know. But anyway. So I'm getting ahead with my reads. I'm getting ahead with my reads, and then there's one. I can't remember what the next one is. For March. I've been reading and watching football. I've been here though. Hey, I appreciate the watch time. Sometimes, like last night, I think Brandy Shanae was doing a live stream, and she had like a 90-minute sprint, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do 90 minutes. And I was like already had queued up a bunch of YouTube videos to watch. So I was like, all right, Brandy, I'm just gonna have you over here for your 90-minute sprint. And then I'm going to watch a bunch of other stuff at the same time. So that's what I did. Try YouTube, Heather, for Passing. YouTube for Passing. What do you mean? A movie? I don't want to watch the movie early because I want to do like a reaction when we do the watch alongs. Because what we do with the watch alongs is most of the time I've never seen the movie. So you're getting like a true like first impression of the movies. But yeah, I will look it up to see if it's on here. Monty B went all out on her last video. She has one called Cyborg Cowboys on Mars by Honey Phillips series review. And she's got like an AI looking eyeball on her thumbnail. So I'm definitely going to go watch that. It looks like Courtney is doing some sprints on Tuesday. That's what I'm seeing over here. I've got a bunch of comments on last night's live show, apparently. I wasn't paying any attention to all that. But yeah, we have a lot of fun on our stuff, so. Audiobook on YouTube for Passing. Oh no, I got it from Hoopla. Hoopla had the audiobook, so I did that. They actually had 2 different versions of the audiobook. So one of them was already available. I didn't have to like go on a waiting list. So I just got that one. But there was 2 different versions of the book. And then that author has a second book as well. So I don't know how many. I haven't like really looked into the authors to see how many books they have. I know the author for March has multiple. One of his books was suggested, and I was like, I don't think this one's going to be a good fit, so we didn't go with that one. But his other book I felt like would work. Let me see. Pull up the Discord again. I'll give y'all the quick rundown of what's coming up. Everything's on the Discord, but I know some people don't do Discord. Oh. Tammy was apologizing for not being there last night. things just went over her head. And it was funny because the day before I was messaging them and I was worried that I was going to forget the live show because I've just been very spacey this week. So I was like, y'all, here's my phone number. If I'm not in the room 5 minutes before the sprint, please call me. I don't want to miss the live show to watch along. But yeah, so the book picks. All right. So Wuthering Heights is this month. So next Friday at 4 p.m. CST on this channel, we will do the live show discussion. And then January is Iola Leroy by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Some of them just say Frances Harper. It doesn't use all the names. So you can try Googling it, however. And then so that one's going to be it'll be the 20th. So Friday, the 20th of January at 4 p.m. We'll be doing the live show discussion of this book. And then for February, we will be doing Passing by Nellie Larson. And I don't think we've set a date yet, but I'm trying to get dates set firmly ahead of time because it's just been a struggle the past 2 months. So I'm kind of getting to where I'll pick a week and I'll kind of suggest a date and time and then see if the host can do it. Because when I leave it all open, nobody really knows what day they want to do. So what I'm thinking is, of course, avoid any holidays. We don't want to be doing live shows on holidays, but probably the third week, like the third Friday, like third Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that sort of thing, of each week of the month would probably be when we do the live show discussions. And then like the second weekend of the month, if there's a movie. So that way people have some time. And I always tell you what the books are ahead of time so you can read them ahead of time. Some of them are much longer than others. And then for March, it's going to be 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez or Marquise. And that one I need more host for. So I only have Grace's Athenium, I think is the channel name. She changed it recently. So she's going to be hosting with me for that book. But if anybody else wants to host, you just let me know. I've got room. And then for May on, I don't think I have any co-hosts. So I really need to give you some co-hosts for these books. But for May, I have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. So that's going to be like a children's classic. And then June, I have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I did pick that one to go along with Pride Month, so it was very deliberate. So I need some co-hosts for that. And then for July, I have The Swiss Family Robinson by Johann David Weiss. I picked that one because I feel like it's an adventure book. It's children's, and it'll be the perfect classic to read during the summertime. So that's why I lined that one up there. I tried to be as seasonal as I could with some of these books. And then for August, we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. September, we have The House Behind the Cedars by Charles W. Chestnut. And October is the month of novellas. So several novellas for October. We're going to do The Willows by Algernon Blackwood, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. And then we're also going to do The Turn of the Screw by Henry James and Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. So hopefully that vampire book will be better than Dracula because I did not like Dracula. Then we have November, which is going to be Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. And then for December, we have A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So those are all of the books for 2013. 2013. Wow, I went back in time. 2023. And then as far as 2024, y'all just give me your whatever you want, your picks. I thought that I had one book for all the Bronte sisters, but now that I'm looking at the list, we have Wuthering Heights for Emily, and then we've got Anne Bronte. But apparently I did not pick out one for the third Bronte sister because I wanted to do all of them. But for 2024, as far as what I have on my bookshelf that we could do, if y'all are interested in those, my other classics that I own include Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which I thought about doing for October, but also that guy is like an accused pedophile, so I don't really want to give a month to promoting him. So that's just kind of weird. But like all of these books have something wrong with them just from the time period that they were in. Like there's racism and all this other stuff. So like, do we really care about a dead author? But I don't know. And then I've got all the Jane Austen books, so we could do like Jane Austen could be all we could do one every quarter if we wanted to. And I've already read Pride and Prejudice. And then I have Author, the King Author, and I think that one would be fun. And then I have the complete Grimm's Fairy Tales. I also have a collection of classic ghost stories. I've got Hard Times by Charles Dickens, which I've already read. I have a treasury of classic poetry, so there would be a lot of different stuff in that book. I've got one that's called Masterpieces of Mystery, The Super Sleuths. And so it has selected stories from Ellery Queen. And then I have the American short stories, classic American short stories. And that's all for my classics, as far as I know. That's all of them. So if y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. I only really know about the popular ones. No, I haven't. The only thing I've read from her is Pride and Prejudice. So I still need to read the others. I put the other ones on my Christmas list because there's these really pretty editions that I wanted. So hopefully I'll get those for Christmas. But if I get all four, that would be like $60 spent on me. So I can't guarantee that I'm going to get all of them. But I do have a bind up. It's just so big. It's going to be kind of hard to read. Yes, I love seeing you here and on other people's sprints too. You're so supportive. Oh, also, Choco, after the first sprint, I know you wanted me to recommend a bunch of books for like Christmas presents, so I did that. So that's why this sprint had said like live Christmas gift recommendations. So while I'm still here, if you have specific recommendations that you want, just put them in the comments and I'll try to figure out something to recommend to you. Because I know you requested that video be made. So I just put it into this. So I recommended stuff for like different genres and age groups. But yeah, so I did all of those recommendations after the first sprint. So it's toward the beginning of the thing. I had also recommended Ice Planet Barbarians for people who like spicy sci-fi romance. But then my husband called and I didn't mention that the writing does have some problematic elements in it. So, maybe look at some reviews before going into it. I know for me, I enjoyed the reading experience, but I felt like the second book had like some Stockholm stuff in it, which I was not on board with. And then the third book has a cure for infertility, and I don't like that. I don't like the use of that with like, oh, magic can fix you. I don't like that. So I didn't read the third book. I might at some point. I'm on a weird reading journey. I'm like, there's so many things where I put real world context into what I'm reading. So then it's hard to enjoy things because I feel like I have a responsibility with what I'm reading sometimes. But it's like at the end of the day, it is just fiction. So if I can separate that and just read books as books and not connect them to real world stuff and how people could respond to things in a real world, then I might could enjoy more fiction. Because for that one, I know the setup that she used for the third book with the infertility issue, but my problem with it is that there's a lot of people who have infertility issues and there's no magical fix for them. So like putting it in fiction just kind of feels like a slap in the face. But I know the author felt justified because she had the guy still want to be with her despite that, but the whole series is all about procreating. But I have also heard from a Ruby Dixon fan that she's listened to feedback that people have given her. And since moving on from the Ice Planet Barbarian series, her current fiction is much different and doesn't have all of the problematic elements that Ice Planet Barbarian has. So who really knows? I don't know. I love her writing, so I hope that that's the case. And even if I don't continue on with Ice Planet Barbarians, I can pick up one of the newer series like the Carstairs Brothers or whatever that series is and read it because I like her world building and I like the romance. So, but anyway, if y'all don't have anything else for me, I will see you again on this coming Friday at 4 p.m. for the Wuthering Heights live show. And then if you haven't read that book and you're not interested in that, then I will see you again on the 31st. So you'll get to celebrate New Year's Eve with me. And that sprint will probably go for several hours. So I will look and I will see how much time it gives me. I think my StreamYard resets like on the 7th of each month, but I don't have any live shows planned for that first week in January. So we can have a very long live show. What do y'all think about like a whole day live show for New Year's Eve? I don't really know what my plans are going to be. For all I know, I'm going to be gone somewhere. But what do y'all think about like a really long live show for New Year's? So we can go over goal setting, bookish things. If y'all have bookish goal setting type stuff, just anything y'all want to do for New Year's, we can just kind of have like a bit of a party. And I also have lots of different ideas for the direction I want this channel to go in. So I could definitely use y'all's feedback then. So we'll probably do some of those discussions. I'm just trying to like chill out and relax a little bit for the rest of this month. I even have a video that's supposed to go up today. So I guess I need to edit that and put it up. It's just the books that are coming out this year. I've already done the prep work. So I just have to add the pictures to the voice clips and then upload the video. So it won't be hard work. But I've just kind of taken a step back, trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with content. So, but anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see y'all either in the next video or the next live show. But that's all. Bye.